The survival rate we were given was 8%. They said she probably won't see Christmas, but they'll try. For 2 weeks prior to Luca being diagnosed, she was vomiting every morning. She was a little bit off balance, tilting her head a little bit. So I had contacted her dad to find out if something had happened or if he'd noticed anything while he had had her. And he mentioned that she had fallen downstairs at his house and hit her head. So I made an appointment with the doctor, the GP, and they ended up finding this tumour, 2 centimetres round. So the official diagnosis came a week after her surgery. I was originally told you don't want this to be a grade 3 or a grade 4. And it was a grade 4. It was called ATRT, which is a very rare, aggressive brain cancer. It's so aggressive for this kind of cancer that if adults had it, they'd die. Due to the surgery that Luca had, because of the placement of the tumour, it was right next to the balancing centre. So for the next 5 months, she actually couldn't use her legs. And she also, for a short time, lost the ability to use her left arm. So she's been slowly building up her strength since then, and balance and things like that, that we're not sure if she'll always have those issues. It just depends on how the brain heals, I guess. Her main rituals that she would have in the hospital is she always had to be in costume, whether it was a witch or a princess or ballerina, whatever it was, from head to toe. She hated it in there, and she made sure everyone knew it. The biggest issue was surviving the treatment. It was a certain type of chemo that she was having. It's so toxic to the skin that I couldn't even touch her skin to skin. I had to have full PPE to even touch her for the 3 days that she was having it. It's a little bit heartbreaking hearing that her hearing was affected. She's always danced, loves being on stage, loves music, loved the music therapist that used to come into the room at the hospital. So easier treatments on the body would be so much better for these kids going through any sort of cancer. But I know for brain cancer, for Luca, in our case, she was vomiting up to 40 times a day. She obviously had all these skin issues. She was miserable. So if we could find less harsh treatments to help them, I feel like their mental health would be in a better place, which would also help them to fight. Because it's so easy to give up when you feel that rubbish. And unfortunately, that is what happens in there. The body just doesn't have enough fight to keep going. We didn't expect her to walk again. We didn't expect her to be able to write her name. We didn't expect her to be as active as she is, but she's just doing so amazing. But it's not until you make it out the other side that you really think back and think, oh my gosh, that happened like to her. She had to go through that, and it's actually more heartbreaking now for me thinking about it all than when it was happening at the time. It's strange. The chances of Luca's cancer coming back are, as far as we know, high. No one really knows. There's not many survivors worldwide. In fact, there's not many people at all worldwide who have had it. I think there's only been 4 kids in WA who's ever been diagnosed with it. We're lucky in that we got the whole tumour out. She made it through treatment, but now everything's just a big question mark. It could come back at any time. It's probably a lot higher chance than other types of cancers, but you just don't know. Just have to, one day at a time.